Dennis, you're guilty. You did that too. So I was like, what did I do? And I listened to it, and I want to understand, what did you think I did that it was different than what other journalists did in the reporting of the story? Because I said from the very beginning, I sat next to you and watched you take copious notes, and you watched the trial, and you actually reported based on what you actually saw and what mirrored others. But it was the part in the live you did yesterday where you said, well, you know, like the way I did my tweet, it shouldn't have, you know, it's almost like you were the union head for bloggers. I'm like, what is that all about?
Oh, the tweet, because I'm just like, I just feel like that tweet was very
elusive,
very elusive, and then I just feel like for everybody to jump on that, and then I feel like you knew what everybody was going to be thinking. It's me and Milagro. Even if it's not, people are going to allude to that. So
no, they shouldn't. No, and that's where others, and this is where it's important. You contacted me, and then we talked, and I said the same thing to you. I said to everyone else, and when they called me, why would people assume it's you when you reported favorable to the attorney? Not favorable. You reported what you saw. I won't say favorable one way or the other.
What does it have to do with the cupcake girl? Somebody sent me something that you think got something from the cupcake chicken.
I don't know anything about that. So that's again fake news. So why is that individual even a part of this? And I can tell you this, which I said also in the replay, is that Milagro said she had someone run 4 names. That's a lie. There's a federal law. There is no way that happened. So she's not telling you the truth. And I had to call that out because I had a member of law enforcement on my live that will also say that that is a crime for a law enforcement officer to do. So when she said she provided 4 different names, that was a bold-faced lie. She can never support that statement with evidence. It didn't happen. And I would say that whoever the individual is that haven't reported, they should move very carefully in their behavior and what they say. It could have been a joke, but if the other person perceived it wasn't a joke, then that's a problem. If the other person felt threatened,
giving advice to a person and they don't even know who they are. You're the only one with the information.
Well, the person called and asked, we're talking about Milagro, she called me and asked a question. I didn't call her phone. No different than other people call me. You call me, you ask me a question because people are tagging you. That should be concerning to her that more people are tagging her and thinking that she's the individual. Why would they think that if it's not for her behavior? Not your behavior, but her behavior. Why would everyone assume it's her if her behavior is indicative of those type of actions? Why would they assume it's her, or why would she assume that others assume it's her if she doesn't have a history? I'm just saying, 90% of people pointing in her direction. Is she doing something wrong? Why people are thinking that it's her? And also, you shouldn't be tying yourself to another individual because you don't move in that manner, in my opinion. But it's not bloggers. You know, this is not about all bloggers, because that means you would be tied to Alex Jones's behavior because he got criticized, and you got the blogger lady got criticized. No, people are dealt with individuals.
Dennis Byron is trying to tie all of us into this, and now he's claiming it's a Rico. I'm like, bro, what?
No, that's interpretation. That's interpretation based on people's actions. And I also said that in my live that if this is an orchestrated effort to intimidate a witness, organized, and if people are part of that, it can be viewed as a RICO. It can literally be viewed as a RICO, especially in Georgia. I'm using Georgia example because they have
while this was being happened, my picture was up on the screen.
Okay. So your picture.
I'm late. I'm on my way to the gym.
Okay, well, and you're late to the gym, Ms. Maverick, because you called me yesterday. It's around this time.
No, I'm literally going down right now. So I'm trying to figure out. Don't have me in this shit, Dennis. I don't know what.
Listen.
Keep out of this.
Listen. hold on. I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find that picture that I own the rights to this beautiful picture I took. Hold on, where's that picture?
Fuck. I'm like, what the fuck is this man doing? I know you get up here, you stir this shit up, you have these people talking, all this bullshit, you have these fucking blogs, doing this bullshit, these blogs, we're never reporting on fucking bloggers, then all of a sudden, the minute you post up the installation, all of a sudden bloggers become credible media. Why are people reporting on bloggers now?
Well,
they act like they didn't see the
again,
whole fucking
I did explain that.
They act like they didn't see us the whole fucking trial, but now the minute something salacious comes out about it, now everybody knows, now everybody wants to post about bloggers. That's that bullshit.
Well, no, Armon, listen. Again, I think it's dangerous to attach yourself to a wagon with passengers you don't even really know.
Well, I'm not really attaching. I'm not attaching myself to that. I'm just knowing. I mean, I got kicked out the court too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my thing is, and I was a blogger on the case.
Well, hold on. You did. Then that's a problem. You got kicked out of the courtroom, and just think about that. You got kicked out. You had your picture posted in the courtroom. I've never seen that in 30 years that any reporter had their picture posted there. So is it because of your behavior or because of someone else's behavior?
I don't know.
Ask yourself that question. Because you were cool in the courtroom up until a certain point. The minute I left the courthouse, I didn't come back, all hell broke loose. Pandemonium. I kept everyone calm, allegedly. Armon, go to the gym. Listen, I have to get out here as well. I got part of my gym clothes on, but I got to get out of here, my brother. Hit me up later. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this live, and that's what it is. Should I leave this live up? I think I'm gonna leave this live up. I don't know if they're gonna leave the live up, but I'm gonna leave it. If you guys have screen recorded this, please send me a comment, a link to the screen recording, because I do want to read some of the comments and maybe I'll respond to some of them. I don't know, but I'm gonna leave the live up. So for Armon's sake, because I did talk about him, I want him to be able to see what was actually said versus me deleting the live. I think that'd be fair. With that said, guys, I appreciate you. Yep, listen. Please, listen, I'm going to hit someone's Cash App. They can send me the screen recording of this live today. I'm going to hit their Cash App today. So send me the live. With that said, I'm out.
I'm going to say this before I go look at the full live, the beginning of the live. I don't like the way that he's sitting up there trying to insinuate that it's Mob Radio is the reason why Armon got kicked out the courtroom. I don't like things like that. Everybody on this platform, they have their own channel, they are their own entity, they are their own person, they have their own brain. I don't understand why people feel like they want to blame Millie and poke the bear. Because see, here's the thing about poking that bear. Here's the thing about poking the bear. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about her. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about her. Go over there on station head. Y'all run the numbers. Run them. Run them. Who was on live with academics every night through the whole trial? Run it. Y'all, I was here. I talked about it. So I don't understand why y'all trying to sit up here and blame Millie. I feel like that's the easy target for y'all. She's the most controversial. She's the most outspoken when it comes to this trial. She has been on this case from the moment that it happened. From the moment Kylie Jenner posted her goddamn foot on Instagram. We have been here. We have been doing the work. See, this is what I don't like. Oh, as soon as I left the courtroom, everything went awry. Man, listen, you a little bit too old. Dennis, you a little bit too old to be messy and muddy in the waters. You're a little bit too messy. And didn't I tell y'all this was going to go into the weekend? Because I know people, and I know when they trying to be seen now. He had to let y'all see who he was, because a lot of people didn't even know who he was. So now we're doing a live, and we got Armon Wiggins on the live, and now we're going to say all of this. You don't really want to say her name because you don't really want to look like you're a true hater. But come on, Dennis. You a hater from the Himalaya. Don't hitch your truck to that wagon with passengers you don't even know. What? 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 I thought this was a black media space and black media content can... I'm thinking we working together when everybody's at the courthouse. I didn't think the whole French fry thing with the whole cupcake, that was like a sidetrack. That was like after the fact. That was after court. That was after hours. This don't have nothing to do with that. So let's just be clear on that. But my thing is, though, with Dennis Byron feel like, because he's older, he had to come out here and show y'all who he was. He had to come out here and be seen. He had to come out here and do a live with Armon. And now I'm going to go see if he posted the live so we can really dig deep into what he said. Because now I really want to know what he said. And forget the comments, because I already read the comments and I already knew where the comments was going. And I don't like the fact, here we go. I don't like the fact that, well, I don't know. You asking Armon a question, it's, well, I don't know. You was with Millie, and y'all was together, and that's that. Don't have people sitting up here asking you questions, and now you, I don't know. I don't know. Well, let me go to the gym, because I don't know. No. And this is the problem that I have, because when you answer the questions the way that you answer the questions, it leaves me and people like me open. You are putting doubts in everything that you have done with her thus far. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let nobody sway you into thinking otherwise. Now, here's the tea about the whole situation. When Millie and Armon talked, right? And they had the conversation, and she got on the platform, and this was when everybody was there, and her and Armon had the conversation, and she said, listen, it could have been due to me because people don't like me. It could be. She has already admitted to that. And see, here's the thing. Even if she didn't admit to it, y'all already speculating, well, it's her. And if it wasn't for her, you would still be there. And if it wasn't for so what, he not supposed to be friends with nobody? He not supposed to be linked up to nobody. So basically what y'all trying to say is, because he's linked to Milagros, and he was in the courtroom that day with her, and they came with their little powder suits looking like the Temptations, now y'all want to make it seem like, oh, she's the reason why he got kicked out the courtroom. Let me tell you something. Remember when Megan Cuniff took the picture of Armon in his shiny shoes? Milagros wasn't in that picture. No, she wasn't. She wasn't there. She wasn't in the picture. So this is what I'm saying. Y'all want to sit up there and say, oh, now let me tell you this. Did Megan start shading Armon because of Millie? Yes. And she knew what to do. Let me tell you what she did. She knew she couldn't fuck with Millie because Millie wasn't giving her no airtime. Let's just go back to the beginning. Let's go there. Because here's the thing. Millie was one of the first people in the courthouse. Millie and Megan were already, they just never seen each other. But they knew of each other already. Because of the reports and the tweeting and the this and the that. So, in order to get to X, Y, and Z, I'm going to go through him because I'm going to take a picture and act like I really like his outfit and his shoes. But I'm going to post it and shade the shit out of him. That's what the fuck happened. Y'all need to see through the bullshit. Let me see if he posted this goddamn live. Because now I'm pissed. Dennis, Byron. Yeah, I'm pissed. Because that, to me, that didn't make no sense. And y'all got to make things make sense. And I don't like the fact that he was sitting up there having that conversation about Millie, and Millie wasn't even in the live. I don't like that. So I know with enough people tagging and doing all of that, I already know, because I was tagging it to death on my phone.
Just when you thought it was.
Now, this is the blog. This is Dennis from the beginning talking about Armon before Armon got in there. And I'm going to click over and let him take over, because I got to hear this.
All of your content without having to worry about it getting taken down on YouTube. It's designed for creators so that you can save time and really find the songs that you're looking for really quickly and efficiently. It doesn't really matter if you're a video creator or...
Okay.
Can you hear me? What do I sound like?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I hear you. I can hear you. I don't know where to go.
Can everybody, I want to make sure.
I want to make sure
that
I can hear you. Can you hear him? Yeah.
All right, let's go. Because this is not finished.
I want to dissect what was said. I've never listened to this, so I don't know what's going to be said. So I'm hearing this for the first time. But I want to hear what Armon has to say. That's my guy, but I want to hear what he has to say. Let's see what this is.
I'm going to say it again. In jail. Wow. Wow. Okay. Now. Speaking of Twilight, Megan Cutive is on the docket today. Megan Cutive, court reporter of the Tory Lanez trial. So, now, you know that me and Megan Cutive have an estranged relationship. Apparently, Megan Cutive was in the chat today. She says, I'm signing off, but if you want to chat, DM me on Twitter. Good luck with your show. Your intro always cracks me up. Megan Cutive kind of does this kind of nice thing like that, and then she'll be dragging me, telling me that we're all getting up against her and trashing her and flagging my video. But luckily for me, I understand YouTube. This is not the courtroom, so Megan Cutive cannot get me taken down or kicked out of YouTube. Okay? But I'll say this. Dennis Byron put out a tweet. Hold on, I want to get into it.
Okay. Oh my goodness. What's wrong with my voice? What's wrong? We're gonna fix that, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that.
Okay, that's it. Okay. All right. Is it still breaking up, Ronise? Is it still breaking up? Is it still breaking up? How about now? All right. Let me know if you can hear the video playing in the background. Let me know if you hear. I'm going to start. I'm going to play it again. Come on, let me know.
He's another reporter. Let's get into the Dennis Byron. Go 1 second. Okay. Dennis Byron put out a tweet. And this is what the tweet read. Breaking According to my Los Angeles sources, arrest warrants have been issued for a blogger for alleged threats made relating to Tory Lane's case. This is a developing story. So I immediately thought Megan Cunin. I'm going to tell you what my problem is with all of this. No, I don't think it's me.
Okay, I don't know why you guys can't hear this. Can you hear the video playing in the background? That's what before I go any further, I want to make sure you guys can hear the video playing in the background. Okay, Renee, can you hear the video playing in the background? Oh, you can't hear the video playing. Okay, let's go.
Here's what I think. I immediately called Dennis Byron. Dennis Byron didn't tell me what was going on.
That's true. He did call me, and I didn't tell him anything.
He wouldn't tell me. I like Dennis Byron. Dennis Byron is a good ally. We've had our issues, but I do think Dennis Byron plays defense. You know, Dennis Byron, you know, he does have, like, while he likes me and he likes us, I do think that, you know, there's still that new media versus traditional media little back and forth, because I notice certain things on Twitter, a little shady stuff, little, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know, we don't know who is two or Doublemint twins and all of this.
I didn't know you felt that way, Armon. I did not know you felt that way. This is the first time hearing this. This is interesting. I like Armon. He's right. We did have our issues early on, but I like Armon. I sometimes I don't like the company he keeps, but I like Armon. But I get it. This new media, they move differently than old media. I get it. But you know, it's like the you know, the chick who hadn't put any work in, that had to drag yesterday, that don't put any work in, never put work in, didn't even come to the damn trial, making up whole lies on the internet. But Armon, he's putting work, he's showing up and everything. I don't know. I think he may have caught astray in this particular case. But you know, sometimes that happens, because if you're around people that move recklessly, it sometimes is attached to you. You know, not to say you're moving recklessly, but sometimes the association can bring about problems. But let's see what else I want to say. I never heard this, so this is all new to me.
Let's stop. But at the end of the day, I like Dennis Byron. If I call him, he'll answer, whatever. But I think that he's very mixy and he's in all the different bodies.
How am I messy? I'm reporting on the story. So I can have an opinion, Armon. I do have the right to have an opinion. I can report the news, but then have an opinion. You know, that's what makes the news more interesting. You know, having an opinion, and a personality as well. That's important as well. And I've seen a lot over the years. So this is kind of interesting when you see the younger generation have a different take and a different approach in how they cover the news. And we did have borders in place as members of the press that somehow seems like they have just disappeared. It just seems like people move differently, and they don't really value the truthfulness of the story more so than they value the hype or fake hype in the story. But I'm gonna listen to my brother Armon, because I respect his commentary.
But didn't tell me what was going on. I called him, and he said pretty much, I can't tell you. I said, was it Malak?
Well, hold on. Listen to this. This is very important. He didn't tell him. I didn't tell him what was going on. So if I didn't tell someone that I like what's going on, why the hell would I tell someone that I don't even really, rock with? I'll try to extend an opportunity for you. For example, if you need to get a credential to get in the courtroom, I was willing to pull a string for you. That's all. Just doing like I did. Anyone that knows me knows that I extend media courtesy to individuals, especially when they have never had an opportunity to get it on their own. So when you look at the person's tweet, and we're not talking about Armon, they say, "Oh, he didn't even cover the motion hearing." I don't need to cover the motion hearing because I know what the outcome is going to be. I'm not foolish enough to spend $2,500 to travel to a jurisdiction to know what the outcome is going to be anyway, because it is what I saw it was, because it happened the way I saw it was going to happen. But he made a good point. If I don't tell Armon or other people that I communicate with on a regular, why the hell would I tell this bozo anything?
No. Is it Megan Cunip? He said no. I'm drawing my conclusion that it's Megan Cunip. All he did say was, she said someone threatened and there was a report made. So she gave me Megan Cunip.
No, so what he's saying was, I didn't say any name, but I did identify the gender. So he ran with the Megan Cunip theory. And again, I'm not speaking on who either person is, but just listen to what he says. And I'm just seeing this for the first time. Honest God, I have never heard this until right now.
Photographers, are you tired of your images looking drab and lackluster? And you're...
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm not going to listen to the ads.
I do feel like if I'm racking my mind, I'm thinking I don't know what happens on these different people's platforms. I do have an idea of a scenario that could be probably taken as a, you know what I'm saying? I won't go into detail. I have two people in mind, if that is the case, who it can be. Both of them are not big bloggers. One of them is extremely, she's a cackle. She does not like Megan Cunip. Megan Cunip does not like her. She's a kiki to look at. She's a cackle. And she has a very strong point of view. But people didn't report on her because she's just not popular on the internet. Then there was...
So my response to what he said is, a victim is a victim is a victim. They don't have to be popular, but they can be a victim. A victim is a victim is a victim, or alleged victim. So I wouldn't conduct my investigation based on the popularity or the lack thereof of an alleged victim. I just don't move in that manner. Again, that's new media versus old media, and the tactics and techniques that we employ in tracking a story.
Person. And I won't get into that. But for me, the question is Megan Cunip trying to get bloggers arrested? Okay? We know that two of us have been put out of the courtroom. Megan Cunip says she did not do it. I still do not believe that, because just the way that it was set up, I do not believe that Megan did not do that, but I'm over it. I will tell you, though, the problem that I have with this. The problem that I have with this, and I have a problem with it on a couple of different levels. The problem that I have with this is, why even say anything if you're not going to say who it is? To me, I don't even know if I believe it all the way, not to discredit Dennis Byron, but it feels very clicky, very clickbaity, very let's go viral,
Okay, so let's address that. One thing that I will never do, so people can just understand how me as a journalist versus others move, is I will never mention the victim's name, because if I mention the victim's name, then that victim is now exposed to scrutiny, potential violence, or a repeat of what happened to that alleged victim early on. So I don't really need to do the whole clickbait, because I've been doing news before there was anything called a clickbait. I get it. I think enough people know who I am from following me over the years, 20 years, 30 years, some of the biggest stories. Sometimes you gotta remind people. Hold on a second. Let me switch up a little bit here before I go any further. Let me stop sharing that photo, and then I'm going to share this photo. I'm going to see if you guys can make out that picture. Let me see if y'all can make it. It's a little blurry. That's a little blurry. That's a little blurry. I've shook hands and talked to and interviewed some of the greats. Some of the greats. If you know who that person is I'm standing next to, just drop his name in there. Put some RIP respect on that man's name. But let's go, Armon.
Get the conversation talking. Let's get everybody going.
That's right, Johnny Cochran.
And then the blogs are posting it. So let me let you know what I think is interesting in regards to this. While I like Dennis,
you keep saying I like Dennis. I listen. You about to go in because when I hear I like Dennis 4 times or more, I'm like, is he about to get shady? Let's go. Let me listen.
I really don't have a problem with anybody in the media space. I even like Megan Keenan, whatever. What I think is interesting, though, is that for a while, through this whole trial, bloggers like myself and many other people were just if we were even looked at as a blogger, we have been deemed as not credible. We have been deemed as people that are not real media. We have been deemed as jokes.
Well, hold on. I'm going to respond to that. I sat next to Armon in the courtroom at the trial, and I looked at his very good note-taking. So I don't put that label on him. I don't know who else does that, but I don't. One thing I did say, he was very attentive in the trial, and he was definitely watching the process and taking good notes in the high points of testimony. So I don't put that on him. And as a matter of fact, he saw pretty much what I saw, and he told his way of his reporting, but it mirrored mostly everyone else's way of reporting. So I don't put that on him. And maybe some people do, but that doesn't. Everyone should be dealt as an individual in their reporting. So I don't put that on him.
And this, that, and third, right? Also, these blogs, we're not posting us. We're unreliable. But yet,
I don't think blogs, if you are in the space of blogging and it's a competitive sport for the most part, I wouldn't expect the competition to post your reporting. This is why new media and old media is different. although all media competes to get the story first, but also it's important to get it right. And also, some bloggers are, in fact, journalists. They just use the blogging platform to put out their stories. Most bloggers are not journalists. Some bloggers are journalists, if that makes sense. As long as they are twisting the story that is apparent based on the position they're taking. I don't call those journalists. And we know who they are. We've seen it time in again.
You know when you want engagement for your platform, let's throw bloggers out there. And immediately, the most popular bloggers that were at the event was myself and Milagro Graham. The most controversial, the colorful bloggers there were us.
Private online music.
Well, hold on. And this is where I have a problem. And I have two problems. I'm sorry, I'm not going to listen to the ads, but I'll listen to the ads. You know, you gotta get your money up. We're gonna skip the ads. I would agree that Milagro Graham's, haven't really, like the station head, I haven't really watched on station head. I listened to maybe once briefly on station head yesterday. The only time. And then she came on my live early on during this whole trial. I never knew what position she was going to take at the courthouse, but I do have issues in the way she was reporting the story.
Topped by the best musicians from Juilliard.
You see how he put the quotations in the air when he speaks on Milagro Grams? If you don't like the way that somebody's doing something, just say that. But you brought her on your platform, so you must have liked something, maybe her numbers. So you know she comes with a following. So of course you brought her on your platform so you can get some of those numbers and views. Clicky time, Dennis.
It's because some bloggers have done too much that is not normal when covering a story. This is why there may have been more interest, or I won't say more interest in the case, but more attention paid towards certain bloggers because of the manner in which they move in reporting on this case. Now, I think most people can attest to the fact that I've covered multiple court cases, many with cameras inside the courtroom and some without cameras in the courtroom. And other bloggers, if they're going to be honest, they have decided to cover these cases in the courtroom because of the foundation that I was able to lay for them to get in the courtroom to cover these stories. If you do your research, because it's easy, you can go on YouTube and look at how many trials I've covered over the years inside the courtroom. And you don't have to look too far. You can look at all the sites that have cited my reporting, credible sites. I'm not talking just apps, shade room. But you can go to the Daily News, you can go to the Daily Mail.
This is what all this is about. I've been telling y'all this. He needs to let y'all know his background. He needs to let y'all know what he looked like in real life. He needs to be seen. He wants the views. He's here for the views. He's here because it's clicky time. Y'all was not respecting his gangster. We didn't know who he was. A lot of people didn't know who he was. I knew who he was. But a lot of people did not know who he was. So now he's here so he can be seen, because that's what it's all about. So this is why he's running down his whole back history and catalog for y'all. And this is why he's so shady at doing what he's doing, because he wants to shade what? It's like the crab in the barrel mentality. Let me pull somebody down to build me up. And you may not think, oh, he say Millie's name, but when he's being shady, he's not saying her name. Let's be clear. It's an art to this. Okay? So let me paint the picture. Let's keep going.
And I'm not just saying they were just posting, Megan and Cuda. They were posting a slew of reporters, TikTok lawyers, and other forms of social media commentators. Yet urban blogs were not posting black bloggers. Because,
well, again, it goes back to what I say about it's competitive. It's competitive. If they, it's weird for me to watch this, and I get where he's coming from, but the standards of the standards have changed with bloggers giving credit to other bloggers. The standard has changed. You don't see that much. The proper way of doing things, if you report on someone's story, is to source your information and give credit where credit is due. That is not how bloggers are moving. So when you have someone like a Megan Kuniv, there's a respected reporter, or myself, who gets cited many times, it's because it's the proper, the professional, decorum way of doing it. I've seen many times where other platforms haven't actually credited my reporting. I may call them out, or I may not. I may send them a message. But it's not the standard for new media, for whatever reason. It's not the standard. Shout out to those who actually respected the business. Like, for example, the person who always regurgitates everyone's story, the new one on the block. She doesn't source where she get information from. You don't do that. She's probably not going to have a long career in this because people call them out, left and right. Listen, I don't know about you use Armon. What are you talking about? Shut up over there.
we weren't considered general media. So I think that it's interesting now, though, that there could be a controversy behind blogger, and everybody knows what bloggers that could be alluded to. Now this starts to make urban blogs, which means these people knew who was on the scene in the first place. They knew who people would think these bloggers could be.
All you have to focus on is who has a propensity to threaten other people. You don't have to even worry about being you. Just think about who could it be who threatens other people. If you are that person, and this is just a general statement, not, Armon, but I'm just speaking on what he said. If you're not threatening anyone, you have nothing to worry about. If you haven't threatened anyone, you have not, there's no footprint.
Pause. I'm going to say this. I'm going to clean it up right now for everybody. People were saying in certain people's chats last night, today, oh, well, Millie shouldn't have nothing to worry about. Why she go and check it if it ain't her? Why she alluded and people thinking it's her? Let me tell y'all something. With a Megan Kuniv, and I'm putting the air quotes in the air now, with a Megan Kuniv, a.k.a. Karen, you never know who that person is shooting the blame. Bing, 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 bing. You never know. It could be a straight up lie. If I was Millie, I would have went and checked too. If my name would have came up in the mix. And for Dennis Byron to think that Millie don't have nobody at the courthouse, but yet he does, it baffles my brain that she can't have a connect, but yet you can. Oh, it's against this law and against that law. Well, you just said you had a connect at the White House. You just said, yeah. So I don't understand why she can't have a connect, but you can. You see how that goes? That's not fair. Why she can't have a connect? She's media. She get more views than you. Anywhere. Let's be clear. Anywhere On any platform that you and Millie share or don't share, she get more views than you, Dennis. So let's be clear why he's out here now doing the live. To point the finger, and everybody want Armon to blame Millie so bad. It's disgustingly ugly. It's sad even that nobody can just be jealous of Millie, because this is what it's really. Listen, you listen. Y'all sitting up here acting like, oh, what they got to be jealous of Millie about? I just said it. Numbers. She has the engagements that they want. Okay, let's be clear. I don't give a damn who he shook hands with. You were not going to get no points for a decade ago, and we here in the now. Okay, you were shooting in the gym, but now you here on this platform letting everybody know who you shot with and who was at the gym, because nobody knows you, sir. Nobody knows you. So that's why you here. Listen, clicky time. I'm trying to tell y'all, but hey.
See what you're posting? You're right. So everyone wants. Listen. If you're going to start a bloggers union or a bloggers committee or whatever, make sure your members are following the standards that it should be set. If you want to have this bloggers union establishment and want everyone to be protected like the National Order of Police or the National Association of Black Journalists, then you need to do that. Shout out to Angela Watts. What's up? But this is what the way you need to be moving. You don't need to be moving without any standards in place. If you want to be in if you want to have a whole designation for yourself and you want people to respect all bloggers, then you have to set a standard for all bloggers, and they need to follow it, bylaws and so forth. But they need to follow it, not just put everyone in a freaking pot and say, "Oh, we're all bloggers. We should."
Everybody does not do everything the same, Byron. Everybody don't do everything the same. Everybody has their own style to the way that they deliver the news. And the problem with that is, y'all are mad at the fact that Millie knows how to paint a picture. Armon knows how to paint a picture and tell a story. And here's the tea. They don't need a newspaper to do that. They get right on their platforms like I had to agree with Wiley. They get right on their platforms and they tell a story and y'all mad about that. They don't have to do none of that y'all do. Y'all go do extra. Y'all gotta go check y'all boss and this boss and that boss and the boss is boss. And they the bosses of their own platform. Y'all don't like new media because new media to y'all is out of hand and the way that they deliver the news is not the way it should go. Well, who are you? The gatekeeper of new media, Byron? No, you're not. No, you're not. And everybody can't be in the same pot because obviously y'all don't want new media mixing and mingling with y'all because I'm a word on the curb is commercial media was on one side and black media was on another. Where were you, Dennis? Because like Armon said, you like to ride that fence and ride in the middle. But I don't think you rode in the middle. I think you was over there with the Megans of the world because you feel like you are the older and you're the bigger and you want to be seen like the Megans of the world. Because here's the tea. We didn't know who the hell Megan Cuniff, a.k.a. Karen, was until she stepped on the scene. Neither. Let's be clear. Please. You ain't fooling nobody, sir.
Only time you expect that if they're using your information, but other than that, if they use your information, they should credit you. But if they're not in there for that and they dispatch someone to the courtroom, then you can't worry about them reporting your stuff. You just got to report your stuff, and hopefully the people to support you will follow you, because that's what news is about. People follow Fox News because they like the the reporters that are reporting on Fox News, they follow CNN for the same reason. They follow, it's, you're the competition. So why then elevate the competition? Because that knocks you out of position. Why elevate the competition when it knocks you out of position? Bars.
Yeah, he's a rapper.
This is some clickbait. And so my thing now is bloggers are...
It's not clickbait. It is not clickbait. Don't do that. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Journalists is not just going to go out and say it's clickbait. They're going to have evidence to support that claim. But don't just say that.
I'm sorry, Dennis. It was clickbait. You knew what she was doing. You knew what she was doing, and that's why we're here on this fine Friday. But this is only part 1. Or we going to get into the part 2 of it all. So, y'all go listen to that part. And then I'm going to record the other part. And we're going to talk about all the parts today before I even hit the streets running, baby. Because let me tell you something. People like Dennis don't like the new. They don't like the new. They have to learn to adapt to the new. Okay? And let me tell you something. You have to have a personality and the wit and the wisdom and the balls and the goal to do some of the things that we do here in these YouTube streets and say the things that we need to say. Okay? And let me tell you something. He does not have it. That's why he's not over there doing the live on the YouTube streets. He's in the Instagram streets where he lies. This is part 1. Get into part 2. My name is Eve the Weave. Let's continue the conversation in the comments, YouTube. Tell me what you think about it.